43 past the hour, the Trump administration has all but silenced the Voice of America. The broadcaster was started in 1942. At its height, it broadcast to 360 million people around the world in nearly 50 languages. Now, last month, the president signed an executive order to shut it down, saying VOA broadcast radical propaganda. Friday, a federal judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking the Trump administration from closing down the news agency. Washington-based VOA journalist Begum Donez Erzoz from Turkey was put on administrative leave the day before she gave birth to premature twins. She tells NBC News' chief foreign affairs correspondent Andrew Mitchell this has been the hardest time of her entire life.
When did you find out that you were being fired, laid off by Voice of America?
So 2 days after I received my termination notice, which was on the 15th of March, the doctors told me that I had to deliver the babies that night.
And they were premature.
Yeah, they were born prematurely. They were born at week 29, and I actually got into the C-section room knowing that I was going to lose my job and lose my health coverage very soon.
Joining me now is NBC's chief Washington correspondent, Andrew Mitchell, the former anchor of this hour on MSNBC and one of my all-time favorite, most admired friends. Andrew, it's always great seeing you. Thank you. Tell me about the mission of VOA to start things.
Well, the mission has been to tell the truth, to give straight reporting in countries with totalitarian leaders, talking about China, Hungary, Turkey, Russia, most importantly. It started in 1942, broadcasting German into Germany to reach the citizens of Germany under Nazi rule, and others under Nazi rule, of course, the Nazi occupation of Europe. And now it is still doing that, and as close to your heart and mine, also Radio Marti into Cuba, which was once one of Marco Rubio's important, passion projects on Capitol Hill as a senator. Now not so much.
Yeah, and back to the mother, Andrea, that you spoke with. Yeah. What did the Trump administration's executive order mean for her and her family specifically?
Well, it meant the loss of their jobs. Her husband was a freelancer there. She was doing White House coverage. She was a simultaneous translator. You can hear, her extraordinary English. She's been here for 7 years. They've been waiting for a green card. They applied as soon as, they were legally able to apply, but we've been waiting years for that to come through. So they're going to have to go back to Turkey, which has been jailing journalists. So it is a terrible blow. Just listen to her. What are your worries about the babies?
It's, I was actually with the twins in the NICU when the news about the judge's ruling about the lawsuit came in. I was holding Mila on my chest for the first time. I'm sorry.
No, this is so hard. Take your time. You were saying you were holding Mila.
Yep. During that special moment, I was already in tears, and when the news came in, because a lot of colleagues and friends were, writing texts and messages, I was already in tears, and those tears actually kind of doubled when I found out about the news.
I mean, she had worked for years for CNN Turk in Islamabad, but that was then taken over by a government news agency, and she wants to report the truth, unbiased news. And that's what they do all over the world. They have had an extraordinary influence, helped end the Cold War, bring down the Berlin Wall. And, this is soft power, but it is really important. And for them, it will mean that within a month or so, they're going to have to go back if they don't get green cards or get some sort of relief. And their health care also ended on March 31st, and those babies, those infants are going to be in the hospital for months.